Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Four Corners Podcast, right here on the Four Corners Network. I am one of your hosts, John Punn, sitting alongside my best friend, my partner in life, Kris motherfucking Rex. And we are here. Happy New Year to all of you watching us. Hope you and your families had a happy and healthy New Year's. Kris, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. This is the first time we're doing it together. Four Corners Podcast on the Four Corners Network. Cheap plug. Yeah. It is the first show of the new year.
Yes, it is.
We got a couple things to talk about. One of the big news that we broke on the Around the Ropes podcast,
yes,
was that going into the new year, Around the Ropes Network and the Four Corners Network are entering a partnership. And the whole idea behind this partnership is to kind of broaden the audience for shows on both networks.
Yeah.
And have pretty much you guys who are our audience listening and watching them, and vice versa. And hopefully this can also generate revenue for each show. And we can start making some fucking money off this shit.
That'll be great. Get some
sponsorships.
And I have fun doing this anyway, the way it is. I don't need the money. I have fun talking to you guys, talking to Kris Rex. But yeah, Around the Ropes Network and our network has now, joined forces. A nice partnership. You'll see our stuff there. There's their stuff here.
And there'll also be opportunities for cross-branded shows. So the opportunities are endless. I think it's a great deal, and I'm looking forward to it. It's going to build our network, which is just really starting out. They're really just kind of starting out too.
Yeah, and I enjoyed making the announcement with them just last week on their show.
Yeah, because I had to break out because I was getting bitched at work. So. But
no, I had fun talking to them. They're good peoples. This is going to be a really good time starting this year.
Yeah, 100%. Now let's get into
some of our news.
The Ric Flair documentary hit on the Peacock.
I gotta say, that was 2 hours worth watching. That was definitely better than the 2 or 3 hours of the Vince McMahon on Vice.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that.
This Ric Flair documentary, from birth to end of his career to after his career, phenomenal stuff, phenomenal information. If you have not watched it, go on Peacock and watch it. Definitely.
Yes, and it's so appropriately titled. Woo! I mean,
it's funny hearing how he got the woo.
Yeah.
From the Chuck Berry song. Yeah.
Great Balls of Fire. Yeah.
I was like, that's awesome. I never knew that one.
I didn't either. What I liked about this is exactly what I didn't like about the Vince doc, was it was showed the good, bad, and ugly, and Rick was like, yeah, you know what, I accept I did this, you know what I mean? Yeah. And he's still continuing to drink, and he's so
he laughed hard, he cried, he got angry,
he got really emotional.
You saw every side of Ric Flair of every part of his career when he was talking about Eric Bischoff. The anger you saw in him. When he was talking about his son Reed, the crying. When he was talking about his drinking and the jokes he used to play. And how he's just cracking up, dying, laughing. I was laughing with him, just watching him laugh. It was just awesome to see all of that in one.
And what we also seen is the cultural influence he had on pop culture. Yes. I mean,
at the very
from
end,
football teams doing it in LA.
Ric Flair,
when I was on the Sheepshead Bay football team, that was give me 2 claps in the woo, 2 claps in the Ric Flair, Woo!
And I watch football, so I listen to the calls. I've heard them and think about all the hip hop songs now.
Yeah. Ric Flair drip. He's in a fucking music video, styling and profiling like only he can. I mean,
got his own marijuana strain.
Got his own fucking marijuana strain now. He's lighting up. I mean,
this is the first time we're passing to each other on the Four Corners Network.
And it's a special occasion, folks.
Yeah, man, that Ric Flair documentary is definitely something worth watching. If you haven't already, go out and watch it. You will learn something new in the 2 hours.
And what I like is he was so honest in it too. Mm-hmm. He wasn't trying to play for the camera. He wasn't trying to paint himself as a fucking saint.
Yep. He talked about the dirty, the good, the bad, the ugly.
When they're like, and you still drink even after all. And he's like, yeah, I still drink.
And the way he said it. And the way he laughed about it.
Because he's fucking, you know what? No one lives life like Ric Flair. I mean, this guy,
Cheated death how many times, bro?
Bro.
The airplane getting struck by lightning.
He is an enigma.
That story, though. The lightning. He's walking with his umbrella. The lightning strikes. Umbrella flies out his hand, goes through the eye of the guy behind him and kills that guy. My God, I would have been scarred for life if I seen that shit. Man, what?
Bro.
What? How you cheat death like that, but the guy behind you dies and he wasn't even struck by the lightning? You were. That is just insane.
He had an insane life. Being a black market baby, which I knew because I had the Ric Flair book. I read the Ric Flair book, but it's just crazy that he had such a
hard life, good life, great life, bad life. I mean, he had it all.
Talk about going through hell and back.
73 years young.
So that's what I'll say. Yeah. I mean, Ric Flair is there, like I could see myself hanging out and me and you just chilling with
chilling with him. Not even.
And not only that, it's because of it's also that personality of he's got that ego about him, and we could both honestly say, and I think every wrestler has to have an ego about. You know what I mean? You have to be larger than life to the fans, and he went as far as to. Like buying all this stuff so he could say it in promos. I got alligator shoes on. I got $1,000 suits on.
He said the reason he was able to afford everything is he never paid taxes. I was like, wow, bro. No wonder they came after you.
When he was like, I bought this suit just for this, just because I'm Ric Flair, and that's what I, he
never wore the same thing twice on TV,
bro.
Yeah, Ric Flair did it right.
That when you see like that's what a wrestler should be, and to this day keeps it up, and he created this life for himself. Definitely. He created this image for himself. And when they ask, "Is it who's Ric Flair?" and he's like, "I don't know who he is."
Richard Flair.
Richard Flair. And it's like it's like kind of I feel the same way too about me when you're like, who is Chris Carpenter? It's like he's just a normal, like I don't know, a normal guy. Who's Chris Rex? That's me. That's who I know. He's the wrestler, he's the podcaster, And I think another reason why people should watch it is you can see how much you relate to Ric Flair in whatever way, whether it's his ups or his downs. In some way you've been through it or you can relate to it. And
as much as he didn't see it, he paved the way for wrestling and its future superstars way before he realized it. I mean, he is just, larger than life, like he just said, He was building his own legacy and not even realize he was building the legacy of the business for years and years and years to come. Yeah. And what a career, man. What a career.
Again, go out your way to watch it. It's on Peacock. On the WWE it's produced by WWE. Another thing we're going to talk about is something that's been making is something
shit right here.
Yeah, it is. It's a mix. That's your okay.
Just the black.
Another thing we're gonna talk about is something that's kind of making a buzz, and it's something that hits close to home here, and it's this whole S.A.T. S.A.P. thing. I don't want to dive too deep into it because I do want to have them themselves come on at whenever time they feel comfortable, but I do want to have the S.A.T. come on.
So we'll get a little rundown. All of the wrestling has now created a tag team, a stable, called the S.A.P., the Spanish Announce Project. Who does it consist of again?
Serpentico,
yep.
Luther, and Angelico.
All right, so now you got three guys. Only one of Hispanic Latino descent.
Yeah, it's a Canadian, a South African, and a Puerto Rican. Jim Cornette actually had talked about it on his podcast, and talked about how, he knows Maximo has been doing this for years, have done this gimmick. They started out with the whole thing is they're supposed to be doing Spanish commentary, which is what the SAD have been doing on MLW. Mm-hmm. And it's something they've done since 1998, 1999. Now, the thing is, Serpentico has worked, and I've seen with my own eyes, has worked for Fighting Spirit Wrestling, which was Joel Maximo's company. He knows the SAT. He knows about the SAT. So, I mean, this is kind of fucked up to do to the SAT.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely poor taste for Tony Khan to pass this and let it go through. These guys are just doing what they're told to do. This is their job. I could imagine Tony Khan coming to these three about doing this gimmick.
And I don't see. Here's the thing. I think there is creative freedom in AEW, and I think they went along with it. Like you could be like no, and I'm sure Tony Khan, be like, okay, that's something you're not comfortable or you don't want to do. Here's the thing. Tony Khan owns the Ring of Honor library now, right? He's been a fan of wrestling and independent wrestling. You don't know who the S.A.T are?
That's true.
You don't. I mean, you guys out there, if you don't agree with me, let us know in the comments. If you agree with me, let us know in the comments. But I feel.
Yeah. Everybody involved has to had said yes.
And this could have been something that was talked about beforehand.
How long was the planning for this?
Yes, there's something that could have been contacted the S.A.T. for. You know what I mean?
I think they started the planning of this as soon as the S.A.T. started making this big buzz on their return. I think that's the planning to this started then. S.A.T. was making a name. I don't know why they're being blackballed still 20 years later. And now people are trying to make a mockery of their history. It's insane. But I think as soon as their buzz got big is when they started planning this.
Well, there was an open letter that was put out. I'm not sure who put it, who it's from. I'm not really sure. But it was very articulate and very intelligently typed out. And it pretty much had said that for like the last 20 years. For some reason, there has been this block thing blocking the S.A.T. From even bigger companies, with their producers and road agents and people inside the company saying, as long as I have a job, the S.A.T. will never have a job here. And the thing is, there's people in AEW who came up with the S.A.T. Who are.
I think there's people in every promotion right now that came up with the S.A.T. When you look at MLW, Ring of Honor, AEW, Impact, WWE.
There shouldn't be a fear of speaking up. AEW is supposed to be the opposite of WWE, right? Where you could be comfortable, and.
But think about
nobody there.
Think about every major promotion.
But nobody there speaks up.
Every major promotion has at least one person that's been in the locker room with the S.A.T.
Yeah.
Every major promotion.
That's what I'm saying. So you don't speak up. You don't say something like, "Hey, maybe this isn't a good idea." They're still, they're still running. They're still They just did a comeback. Like
better than ever.
Yeah.
It's not like they suck. They're fucking better than ever.
They never lost. What do you mean they got better?
Exactly, better than ever. 20 years since they started wrestling. I mean,
like I said, this one I don't want to dive too much into it because I'm gonna,
we're gonna hear
this.
more.
This is his home because Joel is my trainer.
I think within the next few months, more will be.
Here's the thing: it affects their family, okay, too. You know what I mean? And Joel and Jose and Will, that whole Maximo family, their sisters, all right, their kids. I know them. I know them all. Mm-hmm. So what you're doing is you're taking food out of the mouths of my. That's what people I consider my family. Yeah. So I don't want to get too hot right now and get into it.
Hopefully, in the next couple of months, we'll have Joel, Will, Jose all here, and they'll be able to give us more light on the situation. But we just want to give the viewers a little piece of what's been happening with that and our little bit of insight on it.
Yeah.
But until they can talk more about it, we're not going to talk too much more. All right, so we're going to talk now about WWE's recent house show where they had two, injuries, one major, one not so major. And the first one is AJ Styles, the major injury.
Yeah.
It's a left leg ankle injury. They don't know yet. They haven't announced yet the severity of it. But if it's bad at this time of the year when you have the Rumble and WrestleMania coming around, it kind of sucks because,
bad time to get injured.
And he's been healthy. Good 2-3
pretty much
year run.
Yeah, since he's been healthy since he's been there pretty much. Yeah. He hasn't
missed a lot of time unless it was, personal.
There was a non-medical related one and then there was a shoulder. But other than that, really, there hasn't been.
Yeah, he hasn't really been out. So I hope it's not serious. I hope he could. If he misses the Rumble, I hope he's at least here for Mania.
Yeah.
Which we'll get into in a little bit.
There's Bray Wyatt.
And then the second injury, yes.
Yeah.
We heard, I read online that Bray Wyatt broke his finger during his match with Jinder Mahal, and he told the people in the front row that he broke his finger. And of course, that's how quickly it gets to the dirt sheets.
I don't know why he would do.
It's Bray Wyatt though. It says it's Bray Wyatt.
I don't understand, but I mean, I hope both of them aren't serious.
I got broken fingers. Look at that.
I hope they both aren't serious injuries that put them out.
Broken fingers. Bray Wyatt is fine if he's got broken fingers.
AJ Styles with the leg ankle, that could be serious. That's something that could take him out.
Yeah.
And
let's hope
he's been kind of Mr. WrestleMania, like
since Shawn Michaels. Yeah. That Undertaker. He's had a lot of high profile WrestleMania matches.
So yeah.
What else do we have?
We got Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee signing WWE.
Dragon Lee.
They dropped the FT, which is funny because FTR dropped the titles to him in Mexico in AAA. They dropped the titles, and then right after that, he announces that he's signed with WWE. So I think that was just weird to take the titles off of FTR, put them on them, and then him announce that he's going to WWE. So eventually they're gonna drop. I kind of think you didn't need to do that.
Yep. Unless he didn't tell nobody.
I wouldn't do that a lot. You know what I mean? Like
if Dragon Lee
I would have at least told the promoter.
Nobody,
I would have at least told the promoter, like, hey, listen.
They put the belts on him, and then he's like, oh, I decided to go to WWE.
I think that's kind of fucked up. If that's how it went, I think.
Right, but it's a possibility.
Listen, I'm not a fan of 2-week notice. All right, I'm not that type of guy.
Why would you put the titles on somebody that you're gonna have to take them off of because WWE's not gonna let him come?
I don't know.
I could, in my gut, it sounds like Dragon Lee said, you know what? Let me keep this on the wraps until after this big match. Maybe he didn't even know he was winning the straps until in the arena that day. Maybe they didn't even know. There's a lot of possibilities for it.
Yeah. I just think, I mean, me personally, I wouldn't just go out there and say it like without having anybody else know. You know what I mean? I would have at least told the promoter.
Depending on like how that situation went, were they scheduled to win the titles long before? Or did they just find out the day of that show?
Yeah.
When did Dragon Lee communicate with WWE?
Because hasn't he also been working with AEW as well?
Yeah.
So
when did he communicate with WWE? When did he sign the contract? Like time details are all sketchy. We don't know that.
I think the time details is everything. That makes anything, and was he even? So I guess he wasn't signed to AEW then.
Yeah, I think he was doing the sporadic appearances like many people.
The paper appearance deal. Yeah.
But that's crazy. But Dragon Lee, we'll definitely see him start in NXT. But I think he could have a big future under Triple H.
And then speaking of Mexico, was it Ty Conti and Sam Guevara? They stripped them of the belts.
AAA intergender tag titles.
Yeah, they stripped them of the intergender tag titles and
everything. Because they no-showed.
Yeah. And so Konnan came out and cut a promo and everything. It's crazy. I didn't know Konnan was running things with like AAA like that.
Yeah, that's cool. Konnan is a great mind.
Well, he's honestly the reason why like Lucha Libre was brought to America.
Yeah.
He brought Psychosis, Hoovy, and Ray over. Mm-hmm. So he kind of started that. It's nice to see that he's in a position because at the end of the day he obviously knows
he is someone that should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
He wasn't in the WWE, but Wrestling Hall of Fame. Konnan is someone that should be in it.
Yeah.
I mean, he spent a little specks of being a jobber in WWE. I think, if he was ever a jobber.
They wanted him to be Max Moon. I think it was.
I think he was Max Moon.
For a little bit.
But everything else
I think he wrestled on like their Mexican project they were working on.
Everything else he did outside.
But that just shows that like they knew Konnan had that pull with the Mexican audience that they were in the Spanish audience that they were trying to get. So obviously, I mean, he was a pioneer, and he should be in the Hall of Fame. Plus, when he was K-Dog in WCW, bro, that was the shit, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
you had little white boys like me walking around screaming, "Viva la raza!"
I bet.
Like, yo, fucking
bandana and all.
Little vato.
But yeah, I like to see,
Call me Miko.
He's still in the business and still going strong.
Yeah, no, it's good. I like that. We're gonna do something now that we actually came up with right before
we went on the air, because we knew we didn't have that much going on in the wrestling world that's important.
So we were kind of pretty good with our predictions, and we kind of did have like a little bit of a Mania card already booked, from what we talked about on previous shows. So right now we're gonna go ahead and kind of book WrestleMania Night 1, Night 2. The matches that we had already booked, and we'll schedule these like as we'll pretty much book the entire card as if we were booking the card. Yeah, Booker T over here.
Booker P over here.
Booker P over here. Yeah. Oh, I said Booker T. Look at you. So we talked about Ray and Dom.
Yeah.
That's gonna happen. So we're gonna put that on our that's already booked. That's already we're going with that. Yeah. We talked about.
I'm gonna save these on my phone. Okay. So when we get towards WrestleMania, we can see how many we have right.
All right. So we talked about Ray and Dom. I called Rock and Roman. With Roman going over.
Now, I also think that Roman is going to be defending both titles. Okay. I think it's going to be Roman Reigns defending this one right here against Cody Rhodes.
And let me tell you guys, these new replica belts got some motherfucking weight to them. Like, they got some weight to them.
So, I think the Rock Roman is Night 2.
The Rock Roman is Night 2.
And you're going to have Cody Roman Night 1.
Cody Roman Night 1, okay. And he's going to defend the belt separately. Okay, so this is where we kind of, but it's not. I don't hate it. I don't like it. So we'll go with it. We'll go with both titles up.
We could put separate.
No, because I don't hate. I don't hate the idea. You know what I mean? So it's not. You know what? Yeah, that.
I think Cody wins Rumble.
Because I think Cody has to win it. But I do like Roman. I don't think Rock needs it. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, how do you have him lose but win? Defend both belts. So yeah, I agree with doing that.
Because the only way I see them doing something crazy with the Rock winning Rumble, that would be insane. Start, big surprise there. But I don't see that happening.
See, that's the thing, is how do we factor Rock into this?
What if he can't do the show?
Well, that's the rumor that's going around.
Yeah.
Is that he may not be able to do the show, so it may just be against Cody Rhodes.
All right. But I do think that they're going to separate the titles, especially with the draft coming up after WrestleMania.
See, my idea with the tag titles. Are we talking about the tag titles or these titles?
I think all titles will eventually be separated.
Because I was thinking they're going to do Kevin and Sammy versus the Usos at Mania. Belts.
Yeah, I see that. And I think. All
right, so write that one down. Sammy and KO versus the Usos. I think that's what it's gonna lead to. And like I said, Sammy's gonna be the biggest babyface when they kick him out the fucking bloodline, bro. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be the biggest fucking babyface.
I think Gunther is gonna be in the chamber, and it's gonna be Roman versus Sammy at Elimination Chamber. Ooh. That's what I'm thinking to lead up to Mania.
Yeah.
Roman needs a filler title.
Did they say anything about what Roman's doing at Rumble?
No.
I think.
Kevin Owens. It's supposed to be Kevin Owens.
Good. That was what I was thinking. He's going to do KO, then he's going to do Sammy, then they're going to go for the tag belt.
Yep.
Boom. See, bro, all right.
All right, so we just gave you 3 pay-per-view matches leading up to Mania.
4.
Leading up to Mania for the tag team division.
Oh,
and sort of for the Universal title. All right.
All right. So let's look at the roster here. And
yeah. Let's move
all right,
on.
We'll start off with Raw. All right.
I think we will see Lashley and Lesnar again.
Lashley Lesnar Mania.
Right? Isn't that what they were building before they kicked Lashley out?
Yeah. They were building for Lesnar and Lashley.
Mm-hmm.
That.
I think that would be at Mania.
Again. I think they're gonna one's gonna eliminate the other in the Rumble, and that's what's gonna lead.
I think Lashley's gonna be back, because this fake firing.
Yeah, they're doing.
He'll be back for the Rumble. Yeah. Brock won't be in the Rumble.
No,
but Brock will
cost him. Brock's gonna cost him the Rumble. Okay,
some shit like that.
Okay, I see that.
I think we're gonna have something going on with Miz and Bronson Reed and Dexter Lumis and Johnny Gargano.
Okay.
Gargano, Lumis, Bronson Reed, Miz. You think that'll go that long to Mania, or you think that match will happen sooner?
They might do that at Rumble.
They can. Well, Rumble's only a month away. I think it might be Bronson Reed and Dexter Lumis one-on-one.
At Elimination Chamber?
Possibly. It depends on who's in the chamber with Gunther, because I think that's SmackDown anyway.
Oh yeah, this is Raw we're talking about. All right. I really don't know what to do with. Yeah. I mean, then again, how many matches are there?
Yeah, and you got night 1, night 2. I think you're gonna have.
Not everyone's gonna fucking.
I think in total they will have 18 to 20 matches. They're 4 hours each show. They do 8 to 10 matches each show. So
then you got the pre-show.
So you got 16 to 20 matches, and plus whatever they put on the pre-show.
Yeah.
So it could go 20 to 22, 24 matches. The entire show.
Okay.
You're gonna have the Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
That's
all right.
True.
You're gonna have the multi.
All right, so I guess we could say whoever we don't book here, they're in the Battle Royal and these.
Edge and Finn Balor has to happen.
Oh yeah. And isn't that happening in Hell in a Cell?
Edge isn't back yet. Is he back yet? I don't remember Edge coming back.
I don't know.
And I have no idea.
I heard that was going to happen at Hell in a Cell.
Oh, that would be dope. And it's supposed to be the Demon. I think maybe that is happening already. Okay, so yeah, I really, with what's going on right now,
Finn Balor.
You see, and that's why I also think the Usos titles need to be separated by Mania also. Because you have all these tag teams now.
Yeah, we're looking at the roster now.
You got Chad Gable and Otis. You got Gallows and Anderson. You got all these tag teams. You got Street Profits. I mean, Raw has mad tag teams. Even SmackDown has a lot of tag teams. They have Hit Row and Valhalla, whatever their names are, the Viking Raiders.
You also got Legado del Fantasma.
Yeah, I mean, there's tag teams everywhere, and the Usos aren't.
All right, what do you think Seth Rollins does at Mania then?
I think the Austin Theory rivalry is going to go on forever, unless some craziness happens where it's Seth, Cody, and Roman.
How do we factor that in?
Seth is on the top of his game right now. He could get into the main event scene by doing nothing. I mean, what about that?
I mean, I do think Austin Theory and Rollins can put off a dope WrestleMania match.
They can. Austin Theory is going to get better and better.
I think Theory needs that right now.
In the 4 months to Mania, think about it.
Because last Mania, he was getting stunned by Austin. And this this Mania, he's...
In the 4 months to Mania, I see him do it. Getting better and better.
All right, so we'll do Rollins and
Theory. Rollins and Theory. Rollins versus Theory.
All right, so now we have to factor in AJ's injury.
And I'm going to do Lumis, Gargano, Miz,
and Bronson.
Because until that storyline changes, I don't really see anything else going on with them.
Okay. Now we have to factor in AJ's injury. If he does, do you think it's 6-man with
you think they're going to keep that going on in Judgment Day? I don't think that's going to go that fucking long.
I mean, it doesn't have to be against Judgment Day. I'm just saying, do you think he's going to be wound up going singles? If he is...
Yeah, I wouldn't mind fucking seeing him go singles again. What about Orton? Orton and Cena or some shit like that in a retirement match. I'm just throwing shit out there. And I saw his face down there and I was like, he's supposed to, not come back, maybe come back. I don't know. One more match. The Randy Orton back situation, his back injury is kind of, iffy.
All right.
What about that? Orton Cena in a retirement match.
I don't know. We could put that on ice.
All right. I'll put that. Orton Cena on ice. Orton Cena on ice.
Literally, they're on ice in the match.
We got your thoughts on what we may have right and what you think we have wrong.
We want your interaction. We want you guys to, talk about this.
This show will just do Raw's roster. Next episode, we'll do SmackDown's roster. Since there is a big roster.
I was just thinking that. I'm like, it is a big roster. What do we do for the women's title?
So we got Bianca Belair.
Yeah.
You got Becky Lynch.
We got Becky Lynch. We got Bailey.
Yeah, but
we got some.
I think it might.
Nikki Cross has been on fire. Like, it's open field.
With what they're doing right now, it looks like the triple threat right there: Bianca, Bailey, Becky Lynch. With what they're building right now,
that's a dope
match for Mania. Because they've done the one-on-ones with Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch
and Bailey.
That Charlotte, even what if Charlotte? If Charlotte comes back, I think she'll be back on SmackDown.
Well, you've been waiting for Charlotte.
I've been itching for Charlotte. I thought she would have been.
She got to be back for WrestleMania season, though, bro. I think so. Mm-hmm. I would like. I hope she'd be back by WrestleMania season.
I think this Royal Rumble, we'll see a lot more surprises than we have in recent years.
What if Charlotte wins the Rumble?
That's what I'm saying. I think we're going to see a lot more returns and surprises in these two men's and women's Royal Rumbles than we have been. Last year was all we had really was, I think, Edge last year. I don't even remember the spectacular things from the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
So in the past couple of years...
my memory's a little bit shot. But...
Yeah, that's the marijuana. But the past couple of years, I don't remember anything spectacular. And I think this year we might see a few big returns. Or big names, definitely Charlotte Flair. I think definitely it's about time she comes back. But with the Raw Women's title, I think for now, we could change these leading up. Come February, we could revamp them, in 2 months, 2 months before Mania. But for now, I'll put Belair.
What about the split Montez Ford?
You think before Mania or at Mania?
At Mania. I think they have a match at
Belair.
I think they should have a match at me.
Belair, Becky.
This is where you want to blow off all your stuff, This
Word. Montez Ford versus Angelo Dawkins.
So did we kind of cover all
almost? You have the tag teams. You have like Otis and Chad Gable. You do have the tag teams that's there.
Yeah. Like I said, if anything pops up, we can add them.
We didn't do maybe Otis and Gable versus the OC by that time, something like that. Anderson and Gallows, but we do have time to revamp them.
We have all. We got titles.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 matches here for Raw. Well, we also have the Roman Reigns stuff. Yeah. Ray versus Dom is going to be inter-show.
Yeah.
Because they're both on separate shows as of now, so...
Yeah, so just strictly Raw, I would say.
Yep.
Lashley, Lesnar, Rollins, Theory.
Loomis, Gargano, Miz. Orton, Cena on ice, but,
Yeah, it's 7. We got 7.
Yeah. Everything is Raw except for the Roman and Orton, Cena.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So we got this. This is starting off, we'll do the SmackDown roster the next show. And, we hope you all give us your thoughts and ideas of your match card for Mania. It is 4 months away, so we'll have fun with this. We'll revisit the whole thing in 2 months in February. Maybe when we do the SmackDown one with NXT stuff, maybe. with Triple H in charge of everything now.
Yeah, you
never know what you're gonna see.
So, yeah, the black and gold could
yep, come back. You know, I think this colorful stuff may be out soon.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting, folks. But yeah, we're gonna end it there.
Yeah.
Kris, do your magic.
Of course. On behalf of John Punn and myself, I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in to the Four Corners podcast on the Four Corners Network. You can find everything we're doing, including our partnership with the Around the Ropes Network, above our heads on all social media platforms at Four Corners Net. That's at number 4 Corners Net. If you want to find me on social media, on all platforms, you can find me at Rex Wrestles. That's at REX Wrestles. Punn, let them know where they can find you.
You can only find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at John Punn, JON, no HPUNN. Yes, I love it too, bro. I love it too.
Happy New Year to each and every one of you. And as always, be excellent to each other and keep supporting pro wrestling.